Well, how are you doing? Thanks for hopping on with us here.
Good. Yeah, thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah. Well, you know the theme. I mean, wow, you're the second to last guy that we're having on here, or person we're having on here, and it's been pretty epic, I think. But talking all about the uncertainty out there in the world. But
yeah, I stopped in for 3 or 4, and all of them were really great.
Nice. Well, let's chat about like your specialty. I mean, you do a ton. We know you really well, but the folks that don't, I mean, you've been a copywriter, are a copywriter, great marketer, do a ton of licensing, inventing. So where should we kind of focus this conversation, you think, in your mind?
Well, I think the main thing was you wanted to know what should people be doing right now to deal with the situation we're in, the lockdown, the lack, the fear, the idea that there's going to be lack of sales, and all of those affect things. So, I mean, we could talk about inventing or licensing or marketing or copy, but I don't think that is what people really need right now.
Right.
So to me, I'll ask the question for you. What's the one thing people should be?
Yeah.
To me, what people should be doing is what they should always be doing, but most businesses miss. And what that is that you should always have a customer journey map, right? Mm-hmm. So when somebody buys your product or service, they don't buy it in a vacuum. Something happened before that for them to get there, and then things happen after that for them. So, and the example I always use is when I bought this big screen TV for a Super Bowl party a few years ago. You think, well, you just go buy a TV, but you don't. Things happen before that. It's like, first you invite people, and then you go, is the TV big enough for that many people? Need a second room? Do I need this? And then you go, wow, is my streaming good enough if we want to, watch some stuff in between and this and that? And so all these things factor in, and those are all steps along the way. And then after you buy the TV, there's a lot of steps too. So once I bought it, I said, well, okay, this TV is freaking great and it's huge. Man, I need I need a new surround sound system. So I go and I buy a surround sound system. My wife looks at it and she says, oh, the sound bar on that is a quarter of a shade different than the other one. So we need a new TV table. So she goes and buys the TV table. And then, of course, with a new TV table, because that's a quarter to an eighth of a shade different, we need to repaint the walls, and then we need curtains, and we need this and that. And I go, well, there's a lot of people coming. I want to have pizza and beer. Beer I can stock up on, but pizza I can't rely on delivery, so I got to buy a pizza oven. So then I go get a pizza oven, and even a decent pizza oven is $3,000. And then these things just crescendo. There's all these things on that journey. So by the time I'm done with it, that $3,000 TV cost me $22,000 in other things that complete that journey. So it's important that in business that you know what your customer's journey is, all the things that lead up to them buying your product or service, what causes them to buy your product or service, and then all the complementary things that they buy after. So if you understand that journey and you've tracked it properly, you can then pivot now to those things that matter most to them. So let's say you sell something like, I don't know, like an Evergreen Profits newsletter or something. I just pulled that. I don't think anyone would ever tell something like that. But, maybe people were maybe they bought that and the first thing they wanted to know about was conversion or upsells or how to work the back end. But now that they're panicked, maybe what they're really interested in at this point is traffic. And you have to understand your customers and you have to understand their journey to know what that is. So then you can pivot to helping them with traffic and helping them with free things, free content that helps them, maybe discounted offers on traffic. But what happens if you don't sell anything or offer anything on traffic? Then that's where licensing comes in. Then you can turn to another company and say, hey, can we cut a deal? It can be a straight JV, or it can be a license for a certain period of time. Can I pay you a licensing fee for 50 copies of your program? Or can we do a straight JV? A JV is a type of license. And now you can make that product that's most important to your customers at this time available to them.
Yeah.
And again, you can also give them great free resources. You can refer them to great free resources on traffic, and maybe those have an affiliate link for you or whatever. And so to me, I think what a lot of companies miss, and what we used to understand pre-internet, because I go way back to those days of direct mail, pre-internet, you paid through the nose to get good leads. Now I hear people talking about paying 20 cents a lead, $3. Kurt Molly was saying, $9 a lead. We were paying $50, $75 a lead for a good lead versus 25 for a crap. And when you pay that, you're going to lose most of that on the first sale. So we needed to understand that complete journey and then circle back and say, hey, did you miss things on your journey here? Well, you can get them through me here. And then we had, in those days, they were called strategic partnerships because there weren't really affiliate programs, but we would understand that journey, and you would make up whatever you lost by circling back and making sure they had everything they needed to make your product or service work, and then finding all the things after that really help them. And so the other thing about this is when you do that, when you understand your customer's journey and really work with it, you're doing them a great service, particularly in today's market, because there's so much stuff out there. So like, for example, I had this client, and he sells a program on sales training for new salespeople, people who've been promoted from some other position to sales. Well, once they take that course, there's a lot of things they need. So he knows that the first thing they want, I would have guessed the first thing they wanted was CRM software, but that's way too sophisticated because I don't understand their journey, but he does. And the first thing they want, because they're newer, is they want time management software to manage it, because sales, it can be dicey time-wise. So I had him go do a search on time management software in quotes on Google to keep the results as low as possible. He got 151,000 results. So how does the new salesperson know what to buy and what not to buy? But he can recommend 2 or 3 time management programs that he knows are really good. So when you understand the customer journey like that, you're saving them a tremendous amount of frustration and stress by recommending those things. You're engaging with them more frequently. You're solving their problem, and you're making more sales and generating a much deeper level of customer loyalty, because they go, wow, Matt and Joe really helped me out with that. I was looking for that, but I had no idea from all these results what's good and what's bad. I mean, you know how it is. We contact each other all the time, say, gee, I'm looking for a source of this or that. Do you know something that's good? What do you use? Well, but now think about it for your customers. and they don't necessarily have the people we have in our mastermind and our networks to rely on. Who do they go to? Well, if you're smart, you preempt that and you have that available for them before they need to go to it. And it's there and available through you can set up a resource center, or you can have emails that go out a couple times a week like you guys do with all the tools that you help people with. And so, boy, I didn't give you guys a chance to say a word. That's my long.
We're resting our brains. No, but
for 5 hours. We love it when people give us a break from getting words in.
You're fresh, Bob. No, but
are you using the truck driver's friend?
Wait, what's that?
You're gonna have to
clarify. You know what the truck driver? Okay. No. That's a little tube that connects to the nether parts, so you can urinate while you're on the road.
No, we've taken one bathroom break today so far, and it was right at the halfway point.
Yeah, my snacks are slowly dwindling.
You had to know that I would not keep it clean on. Maybe everybody else did, but I would absolutely wreck your live stream.
Well, Bob, you brought up like a really good point, the whole customer journey thing. And there was an email you actually forwarded to us. It was from your list, and it actually helped us build out our own funnel and sequence and customer journey for folks that follow us. And a lot of that is, you can have a core offer, and if you understand folks and that offer is relevant, great. But just know, there are some pre-stuff that you probably want to be saying, as long as you can't see my hand over here. Okay. But the idea is understand that whole thing. Ryan Lebeck was on earlier talking about a whole bunch of ways to understand what people are wanting. Have your core offer. And for us, I thought it was fascinating because when you understand the journey, you now know all of these other points that you can refer them over to. And for us, we do a lot of affiliate marketing with tools, and Aaron Fletcher that was on here earlier, we're integrating with him a lot more to basically offer a lot more within kind of the realm of what we have. And I think a lot of folks sometimes are scared to do that or point other people's direction. Have you seen any resistance from folks in terms of that? Curious.
Yeah. And, I want to compliment you guys because you are the masters of doing that, of really seeing everything that people need and integrating them into one smooth road, whether it's your stuff or working with other partners like Aaron and ThriveCart and everyone you work with. It's such a smart way to go. And, I know you guys talk a lot about being everywhere all the time, and you are, but I think that's only one piece of it. I think the other piece of it is that people look at you and go, God, Matt and Joe are the best resource I have. It's like they're thinking for me. They're 2 steps ahead of me. They've taken me here, here, and here. And people don't understand how critical that is and how much people want that. Because, like I said, it's really confusing these days when anyone can post anything online. Oh, yeah. And the results you get are almost useless now because there are so many of them, you can't figure out what's good and what isn't. And so, for a restaurant, there's a Yelp. You can go look at a Yelp. But there is no Yelp for CRM software or for shopping cart software or whatever, Yeah. So, you guys do that really well. And, the fear of selling somebody else's stuff it's innate. It's kind of natural, but it's a big mistake because any business can only have so much market penetration. And in general, I think the statistic is about 5% is what you can expect.
So you're leaving 95% on the table, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can really deepen your market penetration by selling other people's products mixed in with your own, or you could sell just other people's products. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you understood your customer's journey, it could be all other people's stuff that really satisfies that journey, because they don't care where they're getting it from. They just want to solve the problem or achieve the goal they have now.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you don't do that, if you let your fear rule and you don't create these types of strategic partnerships, then what you're really doing is you're sending your customers to someone else. And when they find someone else who does a better job of helping them on all those steps of their journey, they're then going to become much more loyal to them. And you're not going to lose just one sale. You'll lose that customer forever.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually that attrition brings you way, way, way down to now you're really challenged to even keep your business going. So you just have to look at that fear and recognize it for what it is. It's something that's working against you, not for you at all.
Well, and for us, like what we've done from day one, a big intention was to build a platform, and to have a platform where we can then build a journey within that platform, and then recommending, not exit points, because they're always going to stick with us for the core journey, but exit points like micro points that achieve a solution to one of their problems. I always think of it, it's kind of like the person that holds the party. I mean, you've been to my house for a house party, you've been to our brewery parties, Bob, and your son, Evan. And it's like, a lot of people are like, when you bring people together, they remember the connector. They remember that. And, during a party, I'm always thinking, okay, well, I can introduce Bob to some friends over here that, love birds and take pictures too. Or, Evan can go talk CBD with these people over there, and, at the end of the day, they're going to remember the connectors. Mm-hmm. They're not going to forget that. They're going to trust recommendations even more so after a good experience over here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same thing. If you recommend something to somebody, whether you're getting a commission for it or not, it just builds deeper trust and loyalty. And that's something, you can't buy that. You can never get enough of that. Mm-hmm. And there's just nothing about helping people achieve their goals, whether it's your product or someone else's. There's nothing about that can hurt you. It can only do good for you. So if people do have that fear, I recommend real strongly that they get over it quickly. Because,
just try it. Start recommending things just to your friends, to the people that reach out to you and like, hey, what's a good resource for X? We had Shane on earlier. Yeah. People asked all the time about content repurposing. We're like, well, Shana's awesome. She's got resources. Go to her. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. And every time I do a promotion for somebody else's product or service, I always get emails from my subscribers and customers saying, hey, thanks a lot. That thing is great. I've been looking for something like that. I didn't know where to find it. I'd heard of this, but I didn't know if it was good. All these different themes come up, but they all, the similarity is thanks. I really appreciate that you did that. It really helped me. So
we've seen the same thing, really. I mean, really, one of the things that Joe and I really decided we were going to focus on was we've always wanted to be like this trusted resource, whether it be for introducing you to the right people, like through the podcast, through live streams like this. How do we get people aware of who they should be paying attention to, but then also a resource for what tools are we using right now? What tools should you use for X, Y, or Z function? And I think leaning into that has really, had a huge impact on our business. And it kind of sounds like that's what you're saying is something that people can really do right now. If in the current economy that we're in the current sort of situation we're in, if you don't know what to be doing, you can be that trusted resource of people, of tools, of, things.
Yes. And in fact, you could do nothing if you did nothing else at this time but send out a recommendation list to people. If you're stuck right now wondering what to do, if fear is gripping you, here are 6 tools that can really help you. You may not want to use them now. You may want to wait till this thing is over, but educate yourself about them now. Some people will just educate themselves. Others will jump in and buy, but you're being really helpful to them. You're giving them something that's going to calm that fear, that's going to help them see their path out when this thing is over, or the path that they can work on right now while it's still going on. And you're doing good for people, and it can't do anything but good for your business.
It's so true. I love that. I love that idea. It's a perfect action item, I think, for everyone here is create a resource list. And if it's not now, maybe some of this is now, maybe most of this is later, but it's almost giving people hope as well. It's like, here's your roadmap of crucial things that I would use in our business, and we recommend to you as a trusted, authority or, a guide for you, however you want to word it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, I know you have a little resource that you shared with us as well. I don't know if that's a good thing to plug or offer folks now, because I think that's something new you have too.
Well, sure. And it talks a lot about this. In fact, there's a whole section in there on creating a resource center. So, and that it's just at licensinglab.com. That's actually an opt-in page for my free report called the Licensing Solution. And it's 11 different ways to take the assets that you already have in your business and turn them into new 6-figure profit centers. One is a resource center, like we talked about. There's a lot of other really good ideas. Most of them don't cost you anything, and you don't have any risk because you're dealing with the assets you already have and just fully leveraging them. So, I really invite people to take a look at that. It's absolutely free, except for you do have to opt in.
It's worth it.
But it should give you a lot of ideas for things you can do now and things you can be launching as things progress and get better and better.
That's really cool, Bob. And we have it scrolling. We'll link it later on once we get off this thing and organize all these resources so you can make the most of it. I think this is great, Bob, and thanks for taking the time, even though not in plaid. Or are you wearing plaid? I can't actually tell. Is it just the?
No, I just to spite you, Joe.
I know you're
because I was on when you guys went on, and I heard it. So
I know you did.
He changed out of his plaid he was wearing earlier just to
pure navy. That's right. Yes, I was. I sleep in a plaid tuxedo, and I took that off and put on my navy blue shirt.
Well, I ordered you one on Amazon, but they said it's not essential. But I should have said this is for Bob Serling. It is essential.
The essential one is for Bob. Yeah,
right.
Plaid tuxedo for.
Oh, love it.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your time and stay healthy.
Okay, you guys.
All right.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.
See ya.